Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of We Are Not Entertained. Flipping Xbox real quick. Oh, sorry. So, welcome to another edition of We Are Entertained. I'm Tommy Haley, joined by myself and myself. I've got a lot to talk about because 3 pay-per-views decided to happen in the span of 2 days. One on Saturday, one on Sunday afternoon, and then one on Sunday night. And a lot of backstage drama. But let's start with the pay-per-views. And let's start with the quickest one out of all the 3. Worlds Collide. NXT Worlds Collide. So, I think I said this in a previous edition of Wayne that NXT is no longer. So, I think they're just cutting their losses in Europe, and they're just shutting down NXT UK, which means that they're going to have title unification matches for the Tag Team Championship, the Women's, and the Men's Championships. And with that, they're putting one of the most beautiful-looking belts recently, and I'm talking about the NXT UK belt, out to pasture. Seriously, though, that belt was just downright amazing. But we'll start with what I think was match of the night, or match of the day, because it was an afternoon pay-per-view, with Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes. Look, I know a lot of people always say certain wrestlers have that it factor. Carmelo is the man, dude. He is the future. He just, the way he carries himself on the mic when he wrestles, doing vignettes, cutting promo. Dude, he just oozes charisma and swagger, and it's just so. And he's athletically gifted too, which people forget, which people don't realize that. Plus, and then when you put him up against Ricochet, it's just athleticism like you've never seen it before, and it was showed like. Oh my God, words could not describe how fantastic and amazing this match was. I'd say if you have a Peacock account, go watch this and just admire the talent that is in the ring with the overselling of Ricochet that rivals literally Shawn Michaels and Dolph Ziggler, and then just the greatness that Carmelo Hayes is. When he gets up to the main roster, I feel like he'll be a future heavyweight champion. I know certain things don't happen, but he's got that it factor. He does. He just has it. And it showed. He's literally just carried the North American title like it's... him being the North American champion is perfect. It is just literally perfect. I get this is like him being being seasoned to be like, yeah, okay, he's got a minor belt. Let's see what he can do with it. And he has just elevated it and just, put it on another level that's probably on par with the actual NXT Championship. Speaking of NXT Championship, let's go to the women's side real quick. Let me pull this up because this was that was the only match I watched from Worlds Collide. Obviously, and it showed. And like I said, words cannot describe how fantastic this match was. NXT Worlds Collide 2022 results. Let's go ahead and do this. The next match was the tag team Fatal 4-Way tag team elimination match to unify the NXT titles. The teams consisted of Pretty Deadly, Creed Brothers, the Creed Brothers, Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, and then Gallus and Coffee, and Wolfgang, or Gallus, it was Gallus and Wolfgang, and then all that. But I'm going to say this now, the Creed Brothers are, they are main roster ready. They're just, I think they're main roster ready. Put them with Alpha Academy, and you got a perfect stable right there. Perfect. I feel like that's the perfect thing. I just feel like they're already main roster ready. it's just, I think they were an Impact. I think they were an Impact for a bit. No, they weren't? Huh. I could have sworn they were in. Okay, never mind. All right, cool. Either way, that was the team I thought would win the tag team titles. Turns out Shawn Michaels likes long blonde-haired men, and Pretty Deadly are your unified tag team titles. I didn't realize Pretty Deadly was an NXT UK tag team until they were like transferred over to regular NXT. So I was like, who the hell are these guys? These guys are brand new. And then I searched it up, and they're like, oh, they're from NXT UK. Oh, okay, that's interesting. The next match was the triple threat match to unify the women's championships in NXT. Mandy Rose, Meiko Satomura, and Blair Davenport all in this match. Look, I don't hate Mandy Rose or anything. I think she's a very talented wrestler, and she's found... Ooh, I hope that mic did not pick that up. Ooh, I just tooted my horn a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm just saying this. I get she's reinvented herself, and it's worked out very well for her, but come on. Like, just put her at the main roster already. Like, just come on. She can't have a death grip on the women's title. You know? You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is she won. I feel like you had Meiko Satomura there. Like, one of the legends of women's professional wrestling in Japan. But it's just... I don't get it. I just don't get it. She's main roster ready. Like, I don't understand why she's still in NXT. I feel like she should be on the main roster by now. And, she just has this death grip on the NXT women's title. Give it to someone else. Give it to Roxy. She's 20 years old. She's obviously worthy of a championship. Hell, she was the ROH Women's Champion for a little while at, I think, 19 or 20. But speaking of Roxy, she did wrestle Meiko Satomura this past Tuesday on NXT. I did watch that match. That match was downright fantastic. And Roxy is 20 years old, by the way, in the future of the business. But back to Mandy. It's just... I'm just kind of sick and tired of seeing her on NXT. Just, put her on the main roster already. Put her on SmackDown. I will talk about SmackDown in a bit. So, I'm going to hold that thought. But, was there any doubt Mandy was going to win? Of course, the internet wrestling community. Of course, literally, I think a couple of days after after she won, she literally posted the Shawn Michaels, belt across the private parts. Instead of the one belt, it was the two belts, and you can obviously see where she put the belts. And of course, the horny bastards that are locked up in their parents' basements were just oogling and ogling and simping over her. Don't get me wrong, she's a very good looking woman, but just come on guys, come on, give me 20 push-ups for your horniness. But just other than that, just circling back, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but just circling back, it's just I'd like to see some fresh faces win the title. I believe Kaylee Ray is still there. I think she's all of fire now. I don't know. I know her as Kaylee Ray. I'm going to keep calling her Kaylee Ray. Kind of like how Io Shirai is now Io Sky, but I'm calling her Io Shirai. Just come on. Just give it to her, and then, they could change titles. They could just change hands after that. They could give it to Kaylee Ray. Mandy Rose can go on the main roster with Toxic Attraction. That stuff can work on the main roster. And yeah, she's on the main roster now. She could team up with Mandy Rose again. Or Mandy Rose. She could team up with Sonya Deville. She's obviously heel still. Mandy Rose is heel. Toxic Attraction's heel. And make a good heel women's stable, But just, I don't know. I'm kind of just sick and tired of doing the Mandy Rose wins lol kind of deal. The next match was Katana Chance and Kaden Carter against Dewdrop and Nikki ASH. Look, I have no idea that this was an actual match on the card, but Katana Chance and Kaden Carter won the tag team, retained actually, the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. I don't know. I had to work overtime on Tuesday. The only match I had to work that Sunday. The only match I really saw was Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes. So, yeah. And then the main event, Braun Breaker against Tyler Bate to unify the NXT championships. And I really hope that Braun keeps both belts, because the NXT UK World Championship is the prettiest looking belt ever. I'd suggest you go look it up and just look at its beauty and how freaking beautiful that thing is. It's almost like big gold. It's almost like the big gold belt. It's like the world heavyweight belt. That's how good it looks. It's just, it's so good. I don't think there was any ever doubt that Braun Breaker was going to lose this match. So, I mean, and that's what happened. And that's what did not happen. Braun Breaker ended up winning the match. Lol. I feel like sooner or later they're going to put him on the main roster. I don't know. That's just my train of thought. So, yeah. I feel like sooner or later he's going to be up on the main roster. Sooner or later. But from one WWE pay-per-view to another, and this one did not disappoint at all. It was worth the 30-year wait to go overseas, across the pond to Wales. I'm talking about Clash at the Castle. Let me pull up the results, even though I did watch this match on Saturday. Hydration is key. So, we will start. For once, can you believe... I'm going to say this one thing real quick. They actually had a goddamn pre-show match on this show. And that was the craziest thing of... that was one of the craziest things of the night. There were some other crazy things, but them actually doing a pre-show match was downright insane. I don't think they haven't done a pre-show match in I don't know how long. Because usually it's like they do a College Game Day kind of deal where it's just, Kayla Braxton, Booker T, Jerry the King Lawler, Jerry the King Lawler, some other guy, forget his name, some other guy, I'm just going to call him that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And they talk for a freaking hour and all that. Not that I'm complaining against College Game Day. Now that Pat McAfee's on it, which I believe we forgot to talk about on BTT, I think. But, yeah, it was Madcap Moss and the Street Profits going up against Austin Theory. Yes, he is not Theory anymore. They gave him back his first name because of Vince McMahon rules. Because of Vince McMahon always had that weird thing and be like, you should not use your first name for so-and-so reasons. And there was a reason behind why he was such a stickler on that. But if Austin Theory got his first name back, why doesn't Matt Riddle get his name back? I don't know. It's weird. Either way, it was Austin Theory and Alpha Academy. Chad Gable and Otis. Of course, the faces won in this match, which was, I believe, good. It was only 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so probably a good crowd warm-up. And then the actual main card starts. We have Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair going up against, I believe their name is, Oh, God, I forgot. If I say Bliss's name, my echo goes off. So let me mute my Alexa real quick. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair going up against Damage Control, which is the team of Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai. Not Io Sky. I'm not calling her Io Sky. If I know her as Io Shirai, I'm calling her Io Shirai. By the way, I'd like to take this note. They're referencing a lot of different... Now that Vince... Because remember, under Vince McMahon, like, if there were a chance of a wrestler's old name, kind of like how Walter is now Gunther, if they were chanting Walter at, like, you know, a SmackDown, the announcers would not bat an eye to it. Now, they changed that. You know why? Because when Io Shirai and Asuka were wrestling each other, they referenced Triple Tails. Now, if you're wondering to yourself, what is Triple Tails? Well, I'm glad you asked. Triple Tails was the stable between Io Shirai, her sister, and Asuka. Yes, those three were a trios. I believe in. Let me pull it up. Triple Tails Wrestling. Triple Tails Wrestling was a female wrestling stable that came together in 2010 with Io Shirai and her sister Mio, and Asuka's former ring name Kana. That was her name before going to WWE and all that. Yeah, that was, I forget where they wrestled. Oh yeah, they wrestled in Smash and Pro Wrestling Wave. So now it goes to show that, you know, WWE under Triple H are, you know, acknowledging, hey, I was so rudely interrupted for some reason that my recording stopped. As I was saying, now that Triple H is head of creative, because before Vince McMahon did not like to acknowledge other wrestling companies because he thought they were the only one and should be the only wrestling company. Now that Triple H is head of creative, they've changed that. They're acknowledging that, you know, hey, wrestling exists outside of our bubble, by the way. Just throwing that out there, which is really nice to see. But anyway, it was really cool to see that they're actually acknowledging stuff. Plus Michael Cole is literally just on the list. He made fun of the Yankees. He literally made fun of Byron Saxton and why am I blanking on his name? I shouldn't be blanking on his name. I should not be blanking on his name. I should not be blanking. Corey Graves. Literally wearing the same thing. I think he said, and I'm joined on my left and on my right. I think he said like Santa and Elmo or something like that. And I was like, that's funny. Plus he made fun of the Yankees and how bad they've been, which was even better. You know, I feel like Michael Cole is just in his, you know what, I'm going to have fun with this because I don't know if I'm going to retire sooner or later. I'm just going to have so much fun with this. And it showed because, you know, the evil man that, you know, likes to talk about anal bleeding is not in his ear anymore. That's still the funniest thing that Michael Cole has ever said, and it's because of McMahon. And you knew, I'm going off the rails here by talking about that, and it's like, you know, that, you know, it's like, I'm informing you that he is suffering from anal bleeding, and Booker T just goes, what? It's the thing. Either way, I'm losing track. Back onto this match. I mean, Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss kicked off the show, by the way. And like to say, go look up how they set this up. They literally had a Titantron castle in the middle of Wales Stadium. I don't know what it's called. I'm just gonna call it Wales Stadium. And they literally did SummerSlam 90. They literally did a SummerSlam 1992 setup for this. There's no Titantron, there's no nothing, there's just a straight walkout, there's no ramp or anything, just, you know, the good old-fashioned SummerSlam 92, which was awesome, by the way, because that's when the last time WWE had a major pay-per-view in the United Kingdom. So this was actually the first time Asuka, Bayley, and Io were dubbed Damage Control. And, everything was just going, the babyface team was rolling early, that kind of stuff, before Bayley, isolated, before the heels, isolated one of the opposing team members and all that, Of course, the person that received the hot tag was Bianca, which, by the way, before I say this, the crowd was hot to start. And it shows that, they should probably do a major, I would like to say this after all this stuff happens, they should do a UK pay-per-view yearly now. Because it showed that they sold out in Wales. Almost 63,000 people were in there. And they got to do this thing yearly because there is money to be made. To quote Shane McMahon's theme, even though he's not there anymore, here comes the money, 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 money. They got to do this thing yearly. But they can do it, they can not, they can keep it in Wales if they want to, but they can always just, do one in every part of the United Kingdom, even though, calling it Clash of the Castle would not make sense. Hell, they could just, they might as well just keep it in Wales and just keep the theme of Clash of the Castle. Either way, this match was good. Bayley pinned Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, so that is going to be a championship match down the road. Don't know when. Probably at the next pay-per-view. I believe the next pay-per-view is Extreme Rules by this time, which is in Philly. I feel like if they do this, since they're going to do it in Philly, every match should be an Extreme Rules match. It's ECW. It's the home of ECW. Why not? Just screw it. Book it, Hunter. So wrong. It's so weird saying that. I thought this match was okay. I'm going to give it if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a B, a solid B. The one thing that a lot of people were talking about was Michael Cole bringing up Io Shirai's past with Asuka. The next match was big meaty men slapping meat, and by that I mean Sheamus and Gunther. And of course, before this match, everyone was thinking big meaty men slapping meat. Guess what? That's exactly what happened. There was a tweet going around. It's like, what kind of pink was Sheamus ended up being? And I was like, it's a light salmon pink, By the end of the match, he turned into light salmon pink. So I like to take note that Sheamus has never won the Intercontinental title. He's won every other title in WWE except for the IC title. So everyone was like, this is where Sheamus is going to get it. He's kind of basically in his, even though he's from Ireland, he's in the United Kingdom and all that, he's going to get his win. Boy, how fucking wrong we were. This match was 20 minutes of just, I'm not even going to explain what happened. It's literally big, meaty men slapping meat. Literally two big, strong, dominant men. Oh, God, that sounded so wrong. Literally a legend in the business, and then a dude that could literally slap a ghost to death in Gunther. Literally just had they beat the shit out of each other. That's literally what happened. They literally kicked and beat the shit out of each other. Did I enjoy it? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because it was just downright awesome. Of course, the wrong person won. Gunther ended up retaining the IC title, even though that was the perfect opportunity to give Sheamus the IC title win and just give him the Triple Crown and give him the Grand Slam. Don't know why. Because WWE likes this thing and be like, oh, you're kind of near your home you're kind of in your home turf. Oh, let's have you lose this match and get heat. I get that there was a ploy to get heat, but come on, just pull the trigger. Don't do a Vince McMahon thing, Hunter. Just don't do that. Of course, this wasn't the first night of disappointments. I just spoiled what happened. Okay. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention, Imperium is back. Imperium is back because Ludwig Kaiser is now with Giovanni Vinci. I forgot what he went by in NXT, but yeah, Imperium is back, which is awesome. This was also the perfect opportunity to do Symphony No. 9 in E minor, because that would have been awesome hearing 62,000 people go dun 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 dun. That they missed opportunity there. I know I know the royalties for that song may be a lot, but come on, just doing it that once again would have been perfect. Just give him back just give that back to him. Come on, just give it back. Just give him back his original theme, and we would be so fine. So fine. Not asking for much. Not asking for much. The next match of the night was the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. Look, before I say anything about this, I gotta be honest. It was nice seeing Liv Morgan cash in at Money in the Bank and win the SmackDown Women's title and all that. And I have to say the benefit for the doubt that, because Logan Paul and The Miz went long, that the rematch between Ronda and Liv went short because, they were cut for time and all that, so I had to go quick. I can't buy it. This is no heart or hate towards Liv Morgan. I think she's a great wrestler. She seems like a fantastic person. She's banging Bo Dallas. She's dating Bo Dallas, who's on a farm, so if she retires, she can have a good life with Bo on the farm and all that. You better believe that. But I don't know why. I just can't buy in to her being SmackDown Women, just a champion in WWE. This is no hate whatsoever. She was always that, ever since, Riot Squad was disbanded and all that, Ruby and Sarah Logan are not on my TV screens, or Ruby is in the AEW now, Sarah Logan's just retired and having kids now. I just cannot buy. I mean, she's always, ever since, they gave her Liv Morgan, she's always been that scrappy underdog that's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But then, ever since she got it, it's just, I just can't buy into it. Because, sometimes, here's the thing, and I think I've talked about this. Scrappy underdogs, like, for example, a Liv Morgan, don't really reflect well as world champions. I get, Daniel Bryan was different. Daniel Bryan was a completely different thing because the fans forced that on WWE. They forced themselves to book themselves in the corner to be like, all right, well, we have no choice but to give him the title. And he's had the title before. Here's the difference between those two. One has had the main title before. The other, this is their first time winning it. I just sometimes scrappy underdogs don't really reflect well as world champions. It's always that one saying, the thrill of the chase. Sometimes certain people are better chasing it than holding it. Liv Morgan, as much as I hate to say it, is one of those people. She should always be the person that is so close, but when it comes down to it, she will never have it. Is it nice that she's SmackDown Women? Is it nice that she actually has a championship on her waist? Yes, absolutely. And there's no doubt about it. Not hating on it at all. I'm just saying the thrill of the chase is sometimes better than actually getting it. And I totally thought she should have... This is where I think she should have lost. She should have lost to Shayna Baszler, because I can actually see Shayna Baszler being a legit world champion. Because we've seen what she's done in NXT. She can literally kick the shit out of you and make you pass out like it's nothing. She can literally kick the shit out of you. Have you seen her kicks? Those things are loud. But I just don't think... I just cannot buy into Liv Morgan. I cannot. This is no... this is no hate towards her at all. Love Liv Morgan. Love what she does. She seems like a really good person and all around just great wrestler. But Shayna Baszler should have won here. I don't get that. I just don't. Either way, the match was alright. I mean, Liv Morgan wore, like, the all-white attire that Sensational Sherry wore back in 92, which was really cool to see. And, yeah, I mean, I get it. Look, I don't get it. They literally brought back NXT Shayna Baszler just to have her lose. Which makes, no sense. No sense. I just don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm thinking this. But where has Charlotte been? I know she got married, and I get that she's gotten time off. But I feel like they're setting up her to come back and take that title from her. I just know how WWE works. They have a Flair complex, and I'm afraid that's what's gonna happen. Either way, the next match was Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Judgment Day. The one thing I didn't expect was 62,000 people singing Metalingus. By the way, that was downright the coolest thing of the night. 62,000 people singing Edge's theme. And I literally felt like it was watching a soccer match. It was literally like, you have all these soccer fans, not football. Get it real, England. If we win the World Cup, you gotta change the name of football to soccer. Because there's only one real football, and that's the one played here in the States, baby. What the fuck is a kilometer? But either way, hearing 62,000 people sing Metalingus, downright cool. And that was like, I got chills listening to that, because it was so cool. There was never a doubt that, Edge and Rey were going to win. The thing that happened out of the match is that it finally happened. Dominic Mysterio turned heel on his dad and Edge. It's funny what Aussies can do to the Mysterios. I mean, Aaliyah was dating Buddy Murphy for it. I mean, Buddy Murphy was, corrupting Aaliyah. And now, one time and now, Dominic getting crushed by Rhea Ripley's thighs, which of course the internet wrestling community was like, God, it should have been me. Literally, this should have been me. What's the one video? There's like a video on TikTok. It's like to die by a thigh. It's a great honor or something like that. I don't know. Either way, some horny bastards on Twitter, when they saw that happen, were like, God, that should be fucking me. Which I'm like, y'all sometimes need to see Jesus. But either way, it's funny what some Aussies... Wait, Rhea Ripley... Isn't Rhea Ripley from New Zealand? No, wait, no, she's not. Is she from... Oh, yeah, she is from Australia. Okay, never mind. It's funny what the Aussies can do to the fucking Mysterios. But yeah, I mean... It's finally happened. I feel like it's been long overdue that, Dominic turned on Rey and all that. And I mean, if you've seen Dominic's haircut, come on. That he literally has Eddie's mullet. He has Eddie Guerrero's mullet, and it's scary how close they look alike. Damn it. And here's what they're trying to do, and I can already tell what they're doing. They're doing Eddie and China. They're literally doing the Eddie and China thing. I feel like. Although it's vice versa this time. Where is it? I need to pull up this tweet. From Sean. Where the hell is it? Where is your tweet, Sean? It's like Rhea is Dom sub or something like that, and it's like I don't know. That just seems very odd to put it in words like that. But I mean, it's been long overdue. It's been long overdue now that he's finally turned heel. Other than that, he's finally realizing that he's Eddie Guerrero's kid and not Rey's kid, because remember, Eddie Guerrero won that match, by the way. And WWE likes to forget that. But the internet wrestling community never forgets. He's turning to his real puppy now. Why did I whisper all that? I don't know why I whispered all that. Either way, it's finally nice to see Dominic turn heel, because they were, always teasing. It's like, oh, is he gonna do it? Oh, is he gonna betray his dad? Oh. But it's finally happened. He's part of Judgment Day now, and all is kind of right in the world. Now that he's Eddie Guerrero's kid. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The match was all right. The match was all right, by the way. The only highlight for me was 62,000 people singing Metalingus. The next match was Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. Now, I believe it was, I think Seth said something in an interview about why their match was cut from SummerSlam. It was because, I guess, the Mysterios had some brand deal with some beer company, and that's why they weren't on, or something like that. I don't remember what they talked about, but yeah, it was something like, the Mysterios had some kind of sponsor that they needed to, because they needed a wrestler or something like that. So yeah. By the way, this feud gave me, flashbacks to Shawn Michaels and Triple H during that SummerSlam feud, where it was like, who attacked Shawn Michaels, and it was like, it was you, Hunter, and all that stuff. The little vignette when they talked about, the picture-in-picture interview. I'm like, that's just a Ruthless Aggression thing up there. And it was like, and then after the thing was done, he's like, that's, they talked about, why, all that stuff. It was just, this feud just was straight out of the Ruthless Aggression era, just talking about family, all that stuff, all why, all that kind of stuff. Other than that, it was a really freaking good match. Of course, Seth Rollins comes out like he's looking like goddamn Elton John in his orange fucking flame pants and his weird, words cannot describe how goofy Seth looked. But at this point, I don't really have I really can't make fun of the dude because of how absolutely talented he is with whatever's thrown at him. But other than that, that was a decent match. Guess what? The finish of this match was a stomp from the second frickin' rope. Other than that, it was a really, really good match. Really decent match. Seth Rollins wins from said second rope stomp. And all that. And of course, he was like, all that. And now, the main event for the undisputed Universal title. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. And guess what they did before this match started? Remember how everyone was like, oh, bring Broken Dreams back. Bring Broken Dreams back. And of course, Drew had to, address this. And he's like, I'll bring it back for a big-time match. And guess what? He did. He brought Broken, pardon my français, Broken motherfucking Dreams. It's back. It was downright amazing that he brought it back. Of course, he didn't walk out to it. He did his Scottish theme song. He used his regular theme song, but still, him bringing back Broken Dreams, his 2009 theme, which, by the way, downright fantastic, by the way. Look, you know what? This was kind of CM Punk, John Cena, Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago, where CM Punk was obviously well over with Chicago. I mean, he's from Chicago. He's well over with the fans and all that. And it was John Cena who was technically, remember, Punk was the heel in this. Punk was the heel in that storyline, and John Cena was the face. Vice versa, everything flipped that night because, it was in Chicago. everyone was going to turn on that if Punk lost and all that. And Punk didn't lose. Punk won. That was not the case here. I mean, here's what happened. Drew was literally kicking out of everything Roman had and all that. It was a very hard-hitting affair. It was just kick out after kick out after kick out. Little Nate was there. And, of course, if Little Nate is there, you definitely know a ref bump's going to happen. Of course, Austin Theory tries to cash in. He gets knocked out by Tyson Fury, who was at ringside. Oh, by the way, did I forget to mention that Tyson Fury was there at ringside? So, thankfully, he came in for the save. Thank God, I cannot... It's just becoming one joke after another that Austin cannot catch a fucking break when trying to cash in because, you know, he's trying to cash in. Just try to cash in on, like, I don't know, Bobby Lashley or Braun Breaker or something like that. Just like he can do anything. And I feel like they're just gonna do the Edge shit to Mr. Kennedy and Edge, where he's gonna put his Money in the Bank title on the line and he's gonna lose it. And it's like, you really don't need that because I don't know why Vince decided. Yeah, that's a good idea. Look, I don't know why Vince thought it was a good idea to give Austin Theory the Money in the Bank thing, Money in the Bank title, Money in the Bank briefcase. But here we are. But now they're just giving him the reoccurring joke that, you know, hey, this guy cannot catch a freaking break when it comes to trying to cash in. But other than that, you know, Tyson Fury did the thing. Of course, he came out with the ref, so the ref kind of thing did that. Drew literally had this match won. Of course, if it wasn't for fucking Solo Sikoa. Yes, that is right. The one surprise of the night, because everyone thought, oh, Bray Wyatt's going to come back. Oh, Sasha and Naomi are definitely going to come back and all that. Nah. Instead, it was Solo freaking Sikoa from NXT. And he pulled the ref out as he was literally about ready to hit 3 on the mat. And Roman wins, lol. Look, I want to make one thing very clear. They had the perfect opportunity to give Drew the feel-good win while he's in Wales, while he's in Cardiff. Give him the feel-good moment of a fucking lifetime. But no, you have to ruin it. And here's the thing. I know what they're doing with Roman. They're wanting him to wrestle The Rock at WrestleMania for said titles. And here's the thing with Roman having the belt for almost 2 years. That match can happen, but it doesn't need to have the titles involved. It doesn't. That match will be huge the implication of the match will just have a massive scale, regardless if it's a championship match or not. Regardless. You don't need to put the titles in there. Another thing I'm realizing is Cody is going to be the guy. Cody is going to be the guy that will dethrone Roman for said titles. If he didn't get injured, it would have been Cody and Roman, and Cody would have won in Cardiff. I will die on that hill. But since he got injured and all that, and he wrestled while injured, I don't know why he did that. Drew got the next step up, and it's like, Drew's going to win this match. But no, they just took it from us. They literally grabbed it out of the ring from us. Am I salty? I mean, not really. I'm not, like, downright pissed off that happened. I knew Roman was going to win. I just didn't expect Roman to win like that. But you had the perfect opportunity where Drew was over like freaking Rover in that stadium and no one was cheering for Roman at all. It was shades of when Roman was being pushed down their freaking throats and the fans just rejected him. That was how it was. It's literally how it was. They literally turned on Roman for this match because he was like, heck, who cares about Roman? We want to see Drew win, and that's not what happened. I just think that's... And besides, now that Roman is taking such a lax schedule, you can have him drop the belts for a bit, and then when he comes back, you can just give him back the belts like it's no big deal. It works out like that. I get he's had the Universal title for almost 2+ years now, But come on, we gotta have someone else other than Roman hold the belts, bro. Got to. We gotta have someone have the belts other than Roman. And I know it deep down that it's gonna be Cody. It's going to be Cody. Because that's how they were building it up before he got injured and all that. Probably after WrestleMania, more than likely. More than likely after Mania 38 in Los Angeles is when it's going to happen. Because here's what happens. Because The Rock will probably come back sooner or later. They'll pre-book that match well in advance of WrestleMania. And Roman will probably win that. I don't know if Roman will win that match. I feel like Roman would win that match because, he's basically the face of this company now. Even though he's taking such a lax schedule now. But, hey. What do I know? Other than that, WWE had a pretty good showing this past weekend of pay-per-views. Let's see what AEW did. Oh boy, what a very eventful thing. Very eventful time AEW has had in the past couple of days. So I'm gonna let me really quickly pull up the All Out card. All Out results. I'm just gonna go really quickly. I'm really going to real quickly go through this. So, we had this on the card. We had Jon Moxley versus CM Punk for the AEW World Championship. Yes, this is happening again because I believe storyline-wise, Jon Moxley laid out an open challenge, and then Ace Steel, which is CM Punk's best friend, came out, called him CM Punk a bitch and a pussy, and used the F word and all that, and then he re-signed it, and all that, which literally made the match in Cincinnati, Ohio, wherever it was. I mean, the one on Dynamite made absolutely no sense storyline-wise. You could have just not had that match, and then you could have just had that match in Chicago and all that without any of the stuff that happened when Jon Moxley basically squashed Punk and all that, which I still don't understand why they did that in the fucking first place. Sorry, by the way, if I said the F word again. We had the Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, and Hikaru Shida for the interim Women's World Championship. The Elite versus Adam Page and the Dark Order for the Trios Championship. Jade Cargill versus Athena. Swerve and Our Glory versus the Acclaim for the Tag Team titles. Jungle Boy Christian Cage, Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs, FTR and Wardlow versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns, House of Black versus Darby Allin, Sting and Miro, Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho, the Casino Ladder match. Some of these are pre-show matches, which were Pac and Kip Sabian for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti versus Ortiz and Ruby Soho for the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships, Hook versus Angelo Parker, and Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii. Which, by the way, talk about a turn of events between Eddie Kingston being suspended because of a backstage brawl with Sammy Guevara to being unsuspended and be like, okay, you can choose whoever you want. And he said Tomohiro Ishii. Which, by the way, that match was fucking awesome, by the way. Sorry, I said the F word again. I'm trying to clean up my thing. Trying to clean up my act, but just come on. It's Tomohiro Ishii and Eddie Kingston. That match slapped. Literally. I guess Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti won against Ruby Soho and Ortiz. Hook ended up winning. Go figure. Pac ended up retaining. Go figure. Eddie Kingston won an absolute banger of I cannot believe that match. I still cannot believe that match was on the freaking pre-show or 0 hour. It was the pre-show match, glorified pre-show match. I just still cannot believe that was on the pre-show. That should have been on the main card. But then again, there's like 11 freaking matches on the main card. So I'm gonna really quickly go through some of these. But first, we shall start with the Casino Ladder match. And oh boy, what a thing it was. Of course, everyone's talking about, the one thing everyone talked about with the Casino Ladder match is who the Joker was. And the Joker came out as the Joker. Literally didn't know who it is. They were in all black. They had this weird devil-looking mask. Stokely Hathaway basically gave them the casino chip, and the Joker ended up winning. The Joker was going to end up unmasking, but said, no, you're not going to see who it is. And, of course, everyone in the wrestling community was like, it's definitely MJF. And people knew it really quickly because of all the mannerisms that he was doing in the ring, the wing, hello, and, all that kind of jazz. But yeah, the Joker, by the way, we found out who the Joker was later in the night. I'm not going to say who it is because people have already found out who it is, and they were right on the money. Of course, they paid like $1 million in like royalties to play "Sympathy for the Devil" from the Rolling Stones, which was, I don't understand. They made $100 million profit, and now they made $99 million because of using that song. The next match was the Trios match, the Elite versus Hangman and the Dark Order. The Elite won. Go fucking figure. They're the executive vice presidents of this company. Of course, they're gonna win these damn trios titles. Which is really, hey, it's really cool to see that they're giving trios a actual title and all that. The next match was, I hope that little toot did not pick up on the microphone. Either way, the next match was Jade Cargill versus Athena for the TBS Championship. By the way, Jade Cargill, I mean, other than she can't wrestle, she can make one hell of an entrance. And, of course, she came out as freaking She-Hulk, which was downright bad-ass. Of course, those little bastards in the internet wrestling community, we had to bonk them on the head because it's like, no, bonk, go to horny jail. Get back. Apparently there was a botch in here because there was a missed breakup by one of the baddies, I guess. And I guess I don't know. Remember, I had to work this night. So the only match I saw was, like again I said, was Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet. I'm glad I did not miss that match, by the way. Yeah, other than that, the next match was FTR and Wardlow versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. By the way, it was really cool to see the Motor City Machine Guns in Impact. Really was. I really wish I watched this match because this match was amazing, apparently. I mean, come on. It's the FTR and the Motor City Machine Guns. You're going to have a great match no matter what. Wardlow and FTR ended up winning. Oh, by the way, I did give Brock an FTR shirt, their Ring of Honor shirt, which is amazing, by the way. Happy birthday, by the way, Brock. Hope you like the shirt and all that. I didn't know that. So apparently Lethal spit on Wardlow, which is actually a crime in Illinois. It's a misdemeanor, but still carries a fine up to $2,500. Wow. Did not know that. The next match was Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. I don't know. I guess Hobbs won this match. I don't know. I really haven't seen anything between these two. I guess the booking's been kind of odd lately for them. I don't know. The next match was Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaim. This totally should have been Swerve in Our Glory versus FTR. But hey, who am I kidding? The Acclaim are freaking over like Rover. Like, I mean, legit over. That was, other than CM Punk coming out, that was, The Acclaim coming out was the biggest pop of the night, by the way. Biggest pop of the night. Did they win? Nope. But it doesn't matter because they're getting their freaking rematch at Arthur Ashe, which makes no sense. It should definitely be FTR next. But hey, they're kind of Swerve and Our Glory's kind of getting it well into that heel role of a tag team. But hey, what do I know? The next match was the fatal 4-way between Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, and Toni Storm for the interim World Champion. Now, I believe it was prior to All Out that this is prior to Thunder Rosa, had to defend because she didn't want to wrestle against Toni Storm. She's like a quitter and all that. She's legit injured. She had to double down on why she can't wrestle. She was down. It's just downright stupid that she had to do this because Thunder Rosa is a world-class talent and they're challenging her credibility. Which, what the hell do they know? She's been injured. She's not medically cleared and all that to wrestle. Other than that, Toni Storm ended up winning. Finally, the person not freaking named Britt Baker won this title. So glad that they did this. Should have been Jamie Hayter, but hey. At least it's not Britt Baker. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it not being Britt Baker. The next match was Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho for the custody of Daniel Garcia. It's basically what this match was. Chris Jericho ended up winning, so Daniel Garcia is now in Chris Jericho's custody and all that. The next match was House of Black, Sting, Darby Allin, Miro. I'd also like to take note that this match was on almost at 10 o'clock at night, so it was well past Sting's bedtime. But if there was ever a definition for the Fountain of Youth, the Fountain of Youth was a person, it'd be Sting. Because the dude can still wrestle at 60 frickin' years old. I mean, he can still wrestle. He can still put up with the greats. Also, Aleister Black, Malachi, does not get the credit he deserves. I get that he should be in the world title scene, but he's been feuding with these three guys. I just feel like he should be going back to WWE now that Triple H is, head of creative and all that. It's literally there's one vine I can think of with Malachi being in AEW. If there's one vine I can think of Malachi Black being in AEW and Triple H wanting him to get out, it's the one where the cat is in the store and the dude's gonna be the dude goes up to the cat and he's like, I'm gonna get you out of there. I don't know how, but I'm gonna get you out of there. Yeah, that's basically what it was. And then the final match of the night, Jon Moxley versus CM Punk for the undisputed AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, was there ever a doubt CM Punk was going to lose this match? No. They're in Chicago. Need I say less? They're in Chicago. There's no doubt CM Punk was losing this match. So, with that, CM Punk ended up winning this match. Of course, after this, he gets interrupted. And guess what plays? The Devil promo from CM Punk. The greatest creation the God ever did, or the Devil ever did, was the Devil promo and all that. And then the voicemail. Being like, hey, I want you at All Out. I don't care what it takes. I'll pay you X amount. I'll pay you redacted amount of money and all that. Just please show up at All Out. And he did. The winner of the Casino ladder match was none other than the scarf wearing, Long Island living, better than you and you know it, man, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Remember, MJF is a heel. And he got a pop. And I mean a pop. As a baby. Ever since he did his pipe bomb, he has turned babyface. No matter how hard AEW tries to make him a heel. He is over. He is over with the fans and all that. Not because of him being hated. Because of him cutting that promo in LA. and all that. And he is coming for that title now that he's won that. The AEW stuff the AEW drama does not stop there. Let me pull up the Fightful stuff. So, a lot of stuff has happened backstage as of late because there's this media scrum thing, which sometimes are downright good stuff to listen to. So when CM Punk comes to his backstage medium scrum, he is basically shooting on Adam Page, Colt Cabana, and basically the entire AEW locker room and just shitting on it. And when that's done, apparently, there's some videos, you can see certain videos. Look, I cannot describe this very well. I just cannot describe this very well. I suggest you go watching the 25-minute press conference with CM Punk and Tony Khan. Denise Salcedo had a perfect bird's eye view of this, which, by the way, great. She is a great wrestling person in this thing. She had the best view of said interview because he talked shit on Adam Page, Colt Cabana, again, for like the 5 millionth time. I feel like he can never shut up about all that stuff. And yeah. So, after that, apparently, backstage, the Elite, which I'm talking... he also shit on the Elite, basically. He's like, came and basically said to Tony Khan himself, like, can't believe he makes me worth of fucking pricks, or something like that. Some words like that. I can't tell if this is a work or a shoot, because it's CM Punk. I can never tell what's a work or a shoot with that man, because, sometimes he just likes to work people, and sometimes he just can rub people the very wrong way, and apparently, he has rubbed the entire freaking locker room the wrong way, because of said actions. So, how does this bring the Bucks in, and Kenny Omega in? Well, they are executive vice presidents of AEW, so, they did not take a liking to them being shit on. Of course, they can never take criticism very well. Go figure. So, there was a big giant backstage fight between CM Punk, the tag team of CM Punk and Ace Steel, going up against the trio of the Elite. And guess who won? CM Punk and Ace Steel. One of the Bucks was knocked out. Kenny one of them got a chair thrown at him, and Kenny got bit on the back of the neck by Ace Steel. Of course, everyone was, hammering Tony Khan. It's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It turns out, he did something. He did something very huge. He vacated the world title and the trios title from CM Punk and the Elite because of said backstage altercation. So now, since I'm recording this on a Wednesday, we have new trios champions. Death Triangle. Look, I get the circumstances of this. They should have beat the Bucks fair and square and all this for the trios title. But hey, they're the trios champions. They beat Best Friends with Orange Cassidy for them. So it's really nice to see that. The world title scene is different. No, they're going to have a tournament of champions, which will end with a world title match at Arthur Ashe. The contestants in said title tournament are Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, Hangman Adam Page, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin. Which is like, and it's like, wait a minute. Bryan Danielson has never held championship gold in AEW. I get that. But he's a 6-time world champion. So, can't take that away from him. Chris Jericho's held it. Jon Moxley's a 3-time champion. Hangman's held tag team championship gold and world championship gold. Sammy Guevara has held the TNT title 3 times. And Darby Allin was the longest reigning TNT champion and all that. So yeah, it makes sense that, these men are in that. Of course, whoever wins this is definitely losing to MJF because they are setting this up because they're doing the one rare thing that has been done so perfectly between MJF and CM Punk. And that is long-term storytelling, which is a very hard thing to do nowadays. And it's been a glorious thing. Now, under the circumstances, does it suck that CM Punk was vacated of his title? And he should have had his comeuppance against MJF at Arthur Ashe? Yes, absolutely. Most definitely. The one thing I have a problem with is, and I'm going to say this again, part of my français, they better not fuck this up. Because of the storytelling that's been there. They better not mess this up, because if they do, they are going to get absolutely lampooned by the internet wrestling community. But other than that, that's really all I'm going to talk about. No Ring of Honor because of how long this is. I mean, I'm literally going 50 minutes on this recording. So, yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at dude_rex14. I believe Big Time Talkers has already come out. Ben and Brock talked about college football, how they're going to the KUK State game. Me and Brock talked about professional football, professional baseball, and all that stuff. I don't know if CSP came out this week. Earning Our Stripes, I think it's come out already. They recapped the Lost Hope game and all that stuff. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I've been Tommy Haley. This has been another edition of We Are Not Entertained. Be sure to drink plenty of water. And I'm going to go to sleep now. Goodbye.